Hmm. It's interesting. I can't see the video. Are we live or not? Oh, we are live. Hi, everyone. Thanks for chiming in. I can see there's a few people out there. Hope you're all well on this Monday morning. Oh, Monday afternoon, isn't it? Oh my goodness, how the day is flying. Um, it has been a really busy weekend. As you can probably imagine, there's been some activity going on behind the scenes, and I think you should all be able to hear me okay. But if you can hear me, just let me know in the comments section in the chat window. So, yeah, lots happening, right, with this COVID-19 situation. Hi, Michael, Seymour, Yiji, hello. Thank you for joining us. While we're kicking off, I think I might quickly just throw a reminder out to everybody on Canvas to let them know that we are live streaming and see if we can get some more people to tune in and talk about this really important update that's happened today. So let me throw an announcement out there really quickly. So live stream reminder. Hi everyone. This is a reminder that we are live streaming. I'll just grab the link. Okay, so off that goes into the world of Canvas, and hopefully we get some more people joining us, but they can always join in after the fact as well. How are you all going? Have you had a nice weekend? Has it been a little bit strange this weekend for you? I know it was strange for me, and at no point was it more strange, I suppose, than when I went grocery shopping, and the shelves were bare, probably in more areas than I'd necessarily expected. So it's clear that there's some understandable anxiety that's been growing in the community around the COVID situation and this idea of what's being called social distancing. However, importantly, I think there's a distinction to be made there, and maybe I'll just digress for a moment. So, social distancing technically is more about how we would distance each other in terms of social relationships, not physical proximity. And that's really what the COVID measures are more about. It's more about the idea of decreasing the amount of physical proximity, especially in contact with very large groups of people. Whereas social distancing is more about staying in tune with each other socially and connected to each other socially, and being supported by each other socially and supporting each other socially. So that's something we want to maintain, right? So that's why I think it's important for us to keep talking on the discussion board and talking in these live chats. So hi Shurui, thanks for joining in. Hi Amelia, hello. So I think it's really important for us to keep communicating with each other and supporting each other while we go through this really unprecedented event which is this COVID situation. I've certainly never seen anything like it in my lifetime in Australia. When I was walking through the supermarket late on Saturday night, uh, I had this really uneasy feeling that I was seeing scenes that I'd seen in, films from, wartime rationing and this sort of thing, where there wasn't food on the supermarket shelves. And I think it's just going to take a minute for the supermarkets to respond to the burst of panic buying, and that's all going to be fine. And we can see certainly that the supermarkets like Woolworths today has responded to the observation that there's so much panicked buying that is affecting people maybe with disabilities or elderly people, and so they've now opened the store for an additional hour from 7 till 8 to allow older people and people with disabilities to come and shop and not get bullied at the toilet paper aisle, right? What's going on with toilet paper? Unbelievable. So anyway, it is a bit surreal. I can only imagine how you're all feeling, particularly if you're a student that's not from Melbourne and you're away from home and away from your support networks. It must be quite concerning and strange, but we'll certainly be doing what we can to offer you channels of support as much as you'd like. So I'm going to be live streaming, obviously. It's turning out to be at least once, more like twice or more a week. Hello, Bianca. Welcome along. And very happy to talk to people through my Facebook page as well, and on Twitter and whatnot as time goes on. And of course, through the discussion board on Canvas too. But there was a big change today, wasn't there? And that's why I was getting in touch this morning via an announcement. And that is that Mind, Brain and Behaviour 1's lectures are no longer going to be held in the lecture theatre because of the size of our subject. So I'm not sure, but I believe that we may be the first subject in the university that has been given the green light, so to speak, to go online with lectures. So effective immediately, as of today, lectures are going to be online for Mind, Brain and Behaviour 1. So pragmatically, this means that I'm working with Meredith and the other lecturers behind the scenes, and each lecturer is going to be recording a pre-recorded lecture video for you. And I think the way in which that's going to play out will be with a screen recording that has an accompanying voiceover and potentially a picture-in-picture of the lecturer, but we'll see how comfortable they are with that. So this has caught us by surprise. No, well, not caught us by surprise, but we're responding. Hi, Alina. Thanks for coming in. Alina? Sorry. So it hasn't caught us by surprise. We expected this was going to be happening, and I've intimated to you all as much, right, in recent days and in the last week, and really even going back to the start of semester. I suggested that things are going to emerge and we're just going to roll with it and it's going to be fine. And I wasn't lying. We are going to roll with it and it is going to be fine. Hi, Rose. Hi, Nicole. It is super strange, isn't it? That's good to hear that there's some other subjects that are going online. Hi, everyone. Thanks for chiming in. Hi, Rachel. Hi, Megan. Hi, Stephanie. Hello. Hiya, Anna. Hi, Liz. Yeah, it is strange, Rose, to be sure. I am happy to be taking the lectures online, to tell you the truth. I feel like this is where we're going, so I'm glad to be making that move. I think we now all have a concrete picture of what's happening with lectures, and we can work to that. There's implications practically behind the scenes. It means that lecturers have to learn how to record their lectures online, and I'm a bit of an anomaly in that I've been flying the online flag for a long time. My first video, I don't think it's even on this channel. This channel's been a reasonably recent development, but my first video that I produced for teaching was over 10 years ago. And I think it's just a really great way for us to work together as students and teachers. But there's going to be a lot of learning to come, and you also need to think about how you're presenting information online. What is presented in the lecture theatre doesn't necessarily translate to an online pre-recorded lecture as well. So one needs to think about critically how you deliver content in an online lecture and fashion the class accordingly. So that's why we've got a little bit of a delay in the lectures for this week. Meredith's lectures this week will be released on Thursday and Friday. So, of course, we were scheduled to have live lectures face-to-face on Tuesday and Wednesday. Wow, my glasses are dirty. They are filthy. Where's the glasses cleaner? And it's going to take a little bit of time to develop those lecture recordings the first time around. So that's why we are now going to be doing these recordings publishing them on Thursday and Friday, respectively. So the other elephant in the room is the topic of practical classes, right? And what are we going to do with practical classes? For now, I can see Joshua there asking about whether or not these are going to be online. To be completely transparent and candid, I think they will be, but we need to operate under the direction of the university leadership. And so, for example, the decision to go online today for lectures has come out of a meeting that occurred at 8 a.m. this morning between our head of school and the Dean of the Medicine, Dentistry and Health Sciences faculty. And we considered, oh God, that's even worse. I knew I shouldn't have used that. These are the worst. Don't use these. These are very bad. I mean, sorry, Clear White, to be giving you negative press, but these aren't any good. I've got better ones, just not on me right now. So the particular thing that was considered at the meeting this morning was the fact that MBB1 is so big, right? And we've got 500 people or more sitting in a lecture theatre together. And from a disease transmission point of view, that is not ideal. As the Prime Minister indicated in his recent message about cancelling non-essential... Oh, I can see. Oh, okay, that's unusual. This glasses cleaner actually did a reasonable job. It's a bit streaky, but not too bad. Discriminating, shall we say, about my glasses cleaners. As I am with a few things in life, so I'm told. Lectures are online. Practical classes, are they going online in the future? I think they will. I've been instructed to keep going as is business as usual. It's business as usual for practical classes. this morning because they are much smaller, the risk is much lower of disease transmission, and it's much easier to do things like are happening in the background, ramping up cleaning protocols, making sure that rooms are sanitized regularly, and so forth. Hello from Shanghai, Shen. Now, as I said in my announcement this morning, I certainly understand that many people are concerned about coming to practical classes, and the data from the survey last week, which I will share with you in due course, has certainly highlighted that people are concerned about coming to campus and traveling to campus, and what that means for them maybe contracting the COVID-19 virus, and that their concern is sometimes for themselves, but also quite pro-social. And I've really been impressed to see people talking about the idea that they've got concern more or less for themselves, but it's more about the people that are maybe older or weaker that are around them that they're caring for, and they don't want to transmit anything onto them. So I certainly understand those concerns, and I don't want anybody to feel pressured into doing something that they don't feel comfortable with. We are running face-to-face practical classes right now. If you are unwell, of course, or you believe that you might have possible COVID symptoms, there's instructions on the university website regarding what to do, and that certainly involves seeking advice and attention from a medical professional. You can certainly, in those circumstances, I'd encourage you not to come to practical classes. And also, if you're concerned, I understand. If you're concerned or worried, I'd understand that you might not come to this week's practical class. And if you choose not to, or if you're unwell and you're not going to come, then I'd suggest that you do exactly what I said in my announcement. Stay up to date with the content via the adapted practical class content that will be released this coming Friday. And don't worry about the hurdle requirement, okay? So the hurdle requirement will work out one way or another. So don't let that be your primary concern. For each of you, you've got a decision to make about whether or not you're comfortable going to campus. And to be, again, transparent, I personally am comfortable going to campus. I'm not at campus right now because I don't need to be today. I'm doing a lot of busy work around cancelling travel for research, organising my various teams, and I suppose across the bits and pieces that I supervise. There's about 70 or 80 people that I need to look after, and so organising various options for them. And I've really just woke up at first thing this morning and sat at the desk and have been going at it ever since with sorry, I was just reading one of the comments. Have been going at it ever since. So I'm going to be at campus later on this week. You'll probably see me around if you are coming into your practical classes, which, again, I'd encourage you to do at this point if you're feeling comfortable and you are well. So let me stop blabbing for a moment. I'll just wind up the practical class discussion, I suppose, by saying there are opportunities that we will make available to gain credit for attendance if you choose not to come. It will all work out. It will be fine. So don't worry. Don't think that you have to pull out of Mind Brain Behavior 1. It's going to be fine. I suppose the best thing that I can say at the moment is that I would maybe think about the decision that you have to make this week based on the information that I've given you about coming to practical classes. And then probably by the end of the week, I think we'll have some more information from the university leadership about what's going to happen with practical classes for the remainder of semester. Does that sound okay? Let me have a look at the comment section now. Okay. Hi, Liam. Hey, Dr. Chris. Are you disappointed that the first time the faculty is getting to teach the... That's a good question. So am I disappointed that the first time we're rolling out the Mind, Brain, and Behavior one, the new curriculum, that it's going online? I'm a bit of a glass half full person. But overall, not really, Liam. And the reason that I'm not disappointed is because I believe that we can do it just as effectively and make it just as interesting and engaging when we do this online. I think it's going to be as good as good an experience online or face to face. And I think in some ways we could even do certain things better online. So that's my personal opinion. I suppose I'm not disappointed. And I'm really looking forward to seeing what we can do with the online translation of the subject. And really, so we've already started getting into this together as a group, as a teaching team. And there's a lot of work to be done, to be sure, but it's all starting to happen. So I'm a big advocate for the online stuff, and in a way the COVID situation has just presented the circumstance in which we need to think creatively about online solutions as an institution. So I suppose if there's a silver lining, that could be it from my perspective. Your Arts Foundation course is still going, yeah, despite its size. Yeah, I've heard about that one, Rose, I think. Hey, Maria. Biology is pretty big as well. Yeah, that's right. Haven't heard much from them. You will soon. I've been speaking with the folks over at Biology this morning. But I don't know what they're doing per se, but I know there's lots of communications coming out. Hello, Shen. Hello from Shanghai. I've said that already, haven't I? Well, hello again. Rosie, is there any consideration at all for closing down the uni for a period of time? Rosie, if we're talking about just cancelling everything, then no, we're not going to cancel everything. There's no reason to. We can keep this tracking along. We can keep on track with everything. Assignments, hurdle requirements, etc., etc. That can all keep tracking along as scheduled. And in terms of university staff, it varies. So my research staff, I have encouraged them to work from home if they want to. And that's fine with me, but they can also come into the lab if they want to. That's also fine with me. We're just being very sensible about hygiene and about minimizing risk, and going about our daily lives with the appropriate precautions, right? But if you mean about closing things down in terms of people working from home and everything going online, then I would imagine that is on the table being discussed and planned for at the highest levels of the university. Very happy to keep you all updated, Carolina. I think it's really important for you to be updated and for you to also be heard. So the survey findings that you contributed through the link that I circulated last Friday. Wow, Friday. Gosh, things are moving quickly, aren't they? That's been circulated up the chain up to senior management. As soon as I know anything, you guys know very shortly thereafter. So, the lectures situation, I sent that email out probably half an hour after I learned about that update. Hi Maria, you're an exchange student. That you did you email me, Maria, about this? My email inbox is so full. Thank you everyone for your patience. It's chockers with individual questions from people about different situations. Maria, I think you might have emailed me, and I probably haven't got to you yet. If you have to return home because you're an exchange student because of this situation, then you will be able to finish the class online from home. The tricky thing is going to be examination. You may have to return for examination. I don't have the details about examination just yet. We're looking at a range of solutions. Are there any options for students travelling long distances into the city, like in crammed COVID cans, trains? I have heard them referred to as COVID cans in the last couple of days. The solution will be the online solution as much as possible. Again, try to think about and apply everything you know that's coming from health information about keeping your hands washed, etc., etc. Maybe being aware of surfaces you're contacting and not touching your hands and face. Incidentally, everybody, how difficult is it not to touch your hands, not to touch your face when you're out in a public place? This is, I'm having trouble doing it right now. Oh, sweet face touching, so good. I know one of you are going to turn that into a meme. But when I went shopping the other night, I was just having this incredible urge to touch my face. Welcome, Grace. All right, I'm scrolling back up to more messages. Okay, thanks for all of these messages, everybody. It's great to be chatting back and forth with you. Hi, Jasmeet. Not sure what's happening with the practical classes just yet. It's going to be a wait and see situation, I think, particularly this week. I certainly hear you about the travel on the trams and the trains at the moment. That's why I asked that question in the survey that I put out there last week. So many people in emails had said to me exactly this. I look at Snowy Emu. Snowy Emu rode the bike into uni today. It took over an hour so you could avoid the morning train sardine squishing situation. Commitment. That is commitment, Snowy Emu. Well done. I'm proud of you. Good job. Well done. Veteran 44, howdy. As a student with an autoimmune disease and travels on a bus, train, and tram to get back to university, would you still recommend coming into practical classes with this in mind? Very good question. Important to remember that I'm a doctor of psychology, not a medical doctor. So I would suggest that in your case, you should consider consulting with your health professional and get their advice about what the risk is for you and speak with them. And certainly feel free to keep me in the loop via email as you go on if you like. Hi to... if I chose not to come to a practical class, do I need to email the tutor? You could certainly email the tutor if you chose not to come. Hi, I believe the reading for research methods is missing or incorrect. Um, do you mean the references, like the references that I've listed there? Let me know about that one. They should all be kosher. Let me just have a quick little look. Oh my god, girl. How are you all going with the research methods? So obviously the research methods modules were already online, weren't they? No need to convert those. Uh, how is that going? Has anybody started those? Module 1, recommended reading. Okay, so it's got references there. Let me randomly select another recommended reading. I think the one looks fine though. The one exception is the ethics module, which is ethics 7, which has got an alternative reading to the ones that I would typically recommend. But it's there. Yeah, no, all of the reading references seem to be there. They seem to be published, but if you can't see them, let me know and I'll see if I've not got my head around some sort of thing with Canvas. Again, first year that everybody's rolling out over Canvases. Hi, Cynthia. After all this virus stuff is over, I'm going to attend a lecture class to say hi to Ollie. Ollie being... Oh, Ollie, right. Meredith's dog, Ollie. Okay. Maybe we can get Ollie to do some live streaming. There is a certain chocolate Labrador that's lying on the ground just to my left. We can get Charlie up to say hello to you at some point as well, if you like. Yeah, Rose, I think they've just, yeah, that's a good idea that you're self-isolating. It's 2 weeks, isn't it? Yeah, 14 days. Good on you, Chicondry, for doing that, the self-isolation for 14 days. Well done. Of course, the state of Victoria has just announced a state of emergency or something like that. I can't remember exactly what the correct term is, but meaning that the 14-day self-isolation is now mandatory. Mikhail. Hi, Mikhail. If I go back home, I will not be able to afford flying to Australia for a final exam. My home institution required me to change classes to be able to finish them remotely. Michaela, I think you have sent me an email about this, haven't you? Maybe you were who I was thinking of before. Just let me know in the chat window if that was you that sent me an email about this, and if so, I'll get back to you after the stream. So I'm not sure exactly what you're asking here. So when you say your home institution required you to change classes to be able to finish them remotely, do you mean you came into Mind, Brain, and Behavior 1 to... Oh. Um, all right, so bear with me. Looks like the internet is just having a moment. Okay. Oh, okay. Snowy Emus let me know that we're back. Fantastic. Okay. I've got a really slow bit rate at the moment for some reason. Anna, yes, I'm unable to. We don't have a license to put that entire textbook up online. So if you want to take advantage of that textbook, or you would need to get it through the library or source a second-hand copy or a new copy. Strictly speaking, everything you need to know is in the modules. However, just reading the text will give you that extra contextualization and opportunity to explore and learn the topics better. If you are going to do any psychology subjects in the future, then that's a very good investment, that textbook. So thank you, Snowy Emu. Thank you, Liam, for letting me know, and Nura and Nicole for letting me know that we're back. That's great. How are we going for time? 2:39. This is not the first nor the last COVID live stream that I am doing today. You're very welcome, Anna. No problem. Just scrolling back up. Okay, so Michael, maybe if you could send me an email. Sorry, Mikhail. Mikhail? Am I saying that right? I hope so. Uh, um, am I saying that right? Let me know. If not, I'll revert to Michael. Uh, Let me know, and send me an email, and we will with the detail, and then I'll be able to advise you. I'll keep an eye out for that this afternoon. Masume, I am wonderful, my friend. How are you? When the itch comes, use the back of your hand. That's how you go about it since you have glasses. Look at Nicole coming up with the good solutions. Well done. When is the university going to close? Tilly, I don't believe it is going to close. You can, of all the things that I'm unsure of, that much I'm pretty sure of. We're not going to close. We're like, I don't know, what stays open all the time? 7-Eleven, McDonald's? No, that's a terrible analogy. Let's not be the McDonald's of education. If I have missed your message, feel free to post it again. You won't offend me. Charlie, how are you going, buddy? Do you want to say hello to everyone, or are you a little bit sleepy right now? Do you want to say hello to everyone? Hey? Do you want to say hello to everyone? Where can you find the psychology teachers on campus if you ever need anything, Cynthia? That's a very good question. So we are in the Redmond Barry building, which is more than likely the same building you're sitting your practical classes in. It's the big, tall one next to the building where you were having lectures but are no longer having lectures because they're all online. In the event that the university is closed or tutes are cancelled, what will this mean for REP? Yeah, very good question, Lucinda. So with REP, you will, at this point in time and for the foreseeable future, still be able to get your in-person credits. In-person participation in research is generally one-on-one, and all of our researchers are implementing, as far as I'm aware, good sanitization practices in the research spaces and so forth. So I'd suggest that research experience participation via face-to-face is probably the lowest risk thing that you could be doing at the university around COVID. So you'll still be fine with that. Having said that, let's just imagine that the completely unexpected happens and that the university says no more coming to campus, which I don't believe it will. I just believe that, well, obviously, we've just moved lectures to online, and I think practical classes may, excuse me, go online in the future, but not just yet. I would imagine, I don't think the university is going to stop you coming to campus, and even if it did, we'd work it out with REP. Nobody's going to be disadvantaged because of this COVID situation. It will be fine. Meow. Meow. Is that right? Sorry, Michael. I mean meow. All right, I'm going to say meow. Meow. Does that sound right? And for all the Chinese students out there, no, I'm not trying to say hello. I'm hilarious. Um, awesome. Meow, there you go. It's in my memory. I know this is a worst case scenario that may not happen. I'm just curious. Oh yeah, REP. It'll work out. Yep, Lucinda. Yep, that's good. No, this is, please ask any questions. Everybody, anything. There's no stupid questions here. This is all about fielding all of your concerns and thoughts. Hi, Shivanji. Is uni not going to shift to classes online? We've just shifted to lectures online for Mind, Brain and Behaviour 1. What will happen with practical classes is yet to be seen. We're not going to... okay, so really good question, Liam. So do you think it's possible... Liam asks, do you think it's possible that we might end up with a UQ type situation where the uni shuts for a week to move online, or the uni is just going to keep running while they sort the online learning out? No problems, Liam. I'm very happy to speak with you about this. So, the answer to your question, at least as far as Mind, Brain and Behaviour 1 goes, is that we will not need to shut. So behind the scenes, we've shifted gear, shifted tactics somewhat, a little bit today, and we've started to develop the remainder of the practical classes for the semester such that they can be delivered either online or by face-to-face practical classes. So that they can go either way, so to speak. And that's a much more efficient way of us working than us preparing a face-to-face practical class and then learning that we need to go online and we need to make major adaptations to the class down the track. So at this point in time, I don't know what's happening with practical classes. It could go either way, so we're being clever and we're setting up our work so that we can immediately switch to practical classes online if and when we need to. Now, let's talk about all the possible sort of iterations of that. If I heard this evening that we needed to go to online practical classes, then what would happen today for this week is that everybody would do the adapted practical class that's available to travel ban affected students to keep up to date with the practical class for this week. Then commencing next week, we would start doing attending virtual practical classes, if you would, online via a software app called Zoom, where you would meet with your fellow students and your practical class and your tutor at your timetabled time. You just would be meeting online in Zoom and being able to work in groups. Within that, we've worked it all out. It's all prepared to go. We just need to flick the switch. There will be no need to take a week off. So I hope that explains. Yeah, no time off needed. Sorry. As much as I'd like time off. Shivanji, am I saying that right? Is it G on the end? Shivanji? If I don't attend practical classes, will I be at a disadvantage? You will be able to keep up with the content and not be disadvantaged. Not be disadvantaged by doing the online practical work in the meantime if you choose not to come. Oh, hydration, good. Is it time to say hello to Charlie? What do you reckon? Should we wake him up? He's sleeping. Hey Josh, so at this point in time, I've been advertising that the maximum credits you should be aiming for REP should be around 2.5, 3 credits online. And so you're trying to strike a balance between online and face-to-face opportunities. Again, everything's a moving feast at this point with the situation. I'd still be planning to try and get your face-to-face hours in and open up that variability in terms of response. And but watch this space. I'll keep you informed as soon as anything happens. Hi Mira B, you signed up for REP this morning. You got an email saying it was cancelled. Do you still get the credit points if there isn't another chance to reschedule it? I should know this off the top of my head, but I would have to look at the REP policy. It's available on the LMS in the REP section. I can't remember it off the top of my head, but let's have a quick look here. Me noggin can only hold so much. Okay. So, research experience program. Where's the... I tell you what, I will find out. And... I mean, firstly, there is going to be opportunity to reschedule. We've got the rest of the semester, so it'll be fine. Let me find out. Mira B, would you mind sending me an email so I've got your email address to respond to? That'd be great. Thank you. All right, Charlie, I think it's time for you to say hello to everyone. What do you reckon? Do we let everybody in on the little secret? Who wants to know a little secret? All right, you ready for the secret? The secret is that Chris is doing the newsreader thing. Do you know what the newsreader thing is? The newsreader thing is wearing the business shirt, but maybe wearing informal shorts as well. So there you go. Gotta stay comfy while you're working from home, right? And is this yours, Charlie? Do you need to say hello to everybody? Oh, yes, have a big stretch. Come on. Come up here. Come up here and give everyone some love. Where are you? Come here. Up. Up. No, come here. He's like, no, you're always trying to get me up there these days. What's going on? Do you want to come up here? Come on. Are you going to come up here? Come on. Up. Hello. Can everybody see you there? Oh, hello. See? Yes. Can you see everyone out there? Oh, you want your green chew toy? Yes. Yeah, Charlie says, don't worry about coronavirus. Everything's okay, isn't it, Charlie? I'm not going to pick you up today. You ready? You ready? Get that. Snowy, they're not track pants. They are the most comfortable shorts that you can imagine. They're sort of made out of track pant material. Yeah, so good eye, but yeah, super comfy. Uh, it is a universal rule, Cynthia. As part of your registration as a psychologist, you will in the future need to adopt a dog. Oh, good. I'm glad to hear that I'm not the only person, Anna. That's good. At least I'm wearing pants, right? It could be worse. Um, Wolfie is sniffing at the screen. Well, hello, Wolfie. Charlie has been having a wonderful time over the weekend as I've been pulling out these old. You remember these old things? The old USB, the old VHS-C tapes that would go into a 8mm camera. Did I just? Was that an 8mm camera or was that the other tapes? Anyway, a VHS-C camera. I've just been digitizing some old content, and Charlie's been watching. He sits in front of the screen and watches the seals, old videos of me playing with seal pups and whatnot, and he's found it very amusing. In fact, Charlie's got a channel that he likes to watch on YouTube every weekend, where it's a channel called My Self-Reliance, and it's a vlog about a guy who lives in the Canadian wilderness and has built himself a log cabin in the snow, and he's got a dog, a golden retriever named Callie, or Carly, and Charlie particularly likes Carly. He sits there and watches her every Saturday. Hi, Liam. For a question not about COVID, do I teach any further psych subjects, either undergrad or postgrad? Kind of hoping we manage to get yourself again in the future. Liam, thank you. That's lovely to hear. Not right now. So, in recent years, I've taught into the master's program and into third year psychopathology, but my teaching has decreased considerably in the last year or so because I'm servicing a big research grant, and my research activity has that's where the majority of my work is at the moment, and probably for the next couple of years while you work your way through undergrad. But if you get into postgraduate study and you're interested in mental illness, severe mental illness in particular, and stigma, then who knows, we might end up working in the same space. Of course, there's also mind, brain, and behavior too this year. So if you're going to stick with first year psychology all the way through, I'm the convener for first year psychology altogether. Yeah, check out My Self-Reliance. It's a really interesting channel, Anna. You having a scratch, Charlie? Don't you be a flea bag at my house. Okay, so how are we going? Are we all right with COVID-19? Are these live streams helpful? Do you want more of these? Is this useful to you, do you think? And thanks, Mihao. I got your email, and Maria. Uh-huh. Yeah, remember how I was saying things are changing by the minute? I shouldn't open my email while I'm live streaming to you. But yeah, for all intents and purposes, I think this is where we've sort of ended up for the day. Yes, it is very helpful. Okay, good. Thank you. All right, good, good, good. Very helpful and informative. Okay, good, good. I think it's really great for you all to be hanging out together as well, just in the chat window gives a sense of being in something together. I think, don't you? Um, so that's good. I am glad to hear that. Great. Any advice for people at our stage who want to gain research opportunities early, specifically if we know what area of research we're interested in? Yeah, that's a great question, Liam. I think that the best thing to do is to approach a lecturer that you're interested in and ask if there are a lecturer you're interested in, a lecturer who's conducting research that you're interested in. That is what I'm talking about. And then ask if there's any opportunities around doing an internship or something in one of their labs. Depending on the type of work that they do, they will be able to accommodate that more or less. If their work is clinical, there'll probably be more limitations around what they can do. I take interns every semester through a subject, there's an arts and a science subject, third-year subjects that are about what's the name of the subject? Industry placement something. I don't know, but it's all about doing an internship and actually getting credit for that, and that's what I like to do rather than getting people to do an internship with no perceivable, tangible return other than the experience. I like to ensure that there's something additional in there for people to benefit from as well, and so I take that route. So yay, live Steam crew. Oh my god, I've been talking too long. I've still got 2 more live streams to do. Oh Lord. So those other live streams I'm talking about or one will be to another organization. Actually, 2 will be to other organizations. So anyway, it's a whole thing. Looking at the chat window, I'm looking down here. I'm looking at the chat window. So it is so time for an espresso. Snowy Emu. Yes, Emu. Completely time for an espresso. Oh, I just said espresso. That's my pet hate. I hate it when people say that, and I just did that. Yeah, definitely time. No, it's fine, Liam. Ask away. I'm very happy to point you in the right direction. Even what type of topic are you interested in? I can probably point you to the person who would best be able to help you and answer your questions. In fact, if you are interested generally in volunteering in mental health, in a mental health related field on campus, he says as he opens up his website, there is an art gallery on campus called the DAC Center. You've heard, some of you know that I've talked about the DAC Center before. And copy link. The DAC Center is an art repository and gallery where all of the work is produced by people who have lived experience of mental health problems, and I sit on their advisory group. and they are currently recruiting for volunteers. I'm going to post this in the discussion board. Oh no, it doesn't like it. It does not like that link. Okay, give me a moment. Oh no. Okay, we're back. Good, good, good. So no, we're not. Okay. Come on, live stream. Hang in there, baby. I think we're just about done. But the stream is obviously buffering and dying. So Liam, around youth, adolescent related mental health, I would suggest looking, seeing you here at the university, at Origin, Oryggen, which is a youth mental health centre and research centre that's attached to the university, predominantly through psychiatry, but psychology has strong links there as well. And indeed, if you get through to honours, you want to do an honours degree in psychology, there generally are project opportunities at Origin. So check out Origin. Also check out, and I don't know if you guys heard me or not because I didn't realise that the stream was buffering. And I'm just going to Google it up for us at the moment so you're all aware of the DAC Centre. So the DAC Centre is this art gallery on campus. There is the website. I sit on their advisory group, and they're a wonderful organisation. All of the art's produced by people with lived experience of mental health problems, and they're currently calling for volunteers. So if you go through to the Support Us section, right down the bottom is volunteer. Go to that section of the website, and actually let me, I'll just copy the link in. One moment. Oh my God, where are you? There you are. If you're interested in volunteering in that type of centre, really interesting insight into the world of mental health, that is a place to do it. I'm trying to work out your thumbnail there, Liam. It sort of looks like you're flying a plane. Are you flying a plane in that thumbnail? I can't quite tell. Okay, everyone. So that's probably where we are at for the day, I think. I will take a pass through the discussion board a little bit later on. But generally, if you want to get my attention after hours and just have the occasional... You're a flight instructor as well as a uni student. Goodness gracious me. There you go. If you want to have a casual chat and hang out, then the Facebook page is the place to grab my attention. We've been having a little bit of back and forth on the Facebook page, and I hope it's going to take off a bit and students will be happy to chat and hang out with each other, particularly if it ends up that we're all physically isolating ourselves and staying in our homes. All right, everyone, thank you very much. Thanks for your patience and riding this roller coaster with me and with all of us here in the School of Psychology. And just remember, whatever it is, whatever ends up happening with practical classes, etc., it's all going to be completely fine. So thanks, everyone, and thanks for tuning in, and thanks for jumping into the discussion board, and I will speak with you all soon. Okay, bye now.